Hello everyone, this is Mr.arorora, and today's episode we will continue our creation journey with rigging and creating some controls to control our rig like a puppeteer, like the last time I told you guys. So, without any issues, let's get to it. So, I did work on the Mech beforehand because creating a rig needs lots of trial and error. So, I had to tune some parts and learn about them again because learning about Blender is takes long time and you need to refresh your memory time to time. So, what we have here is controls and the main rig. So I'm going to teach you how to create a control part. So basically, we're going to create a custom stage and assign it to the bone that we use as control. So before that, let's turn on our add-ons and yes, so that you can see what I'm doing. So at the moment, we have a simple cube. So let's delete its faces, only faces, because I want to see through this part and I don't want it to cloak my vision while I'm working on the Mac. So let's create a simple shape like this. So what we can do is turn this into a muzzle control. So let's do that. Okay. Let's select these top bottom edges and turn them into circles. So you're going to say, but Mr.arorora, this is just a circle, a cylinder. No, little Jimmy, this is not just a simple circle and a simple cylinder. No, I'm going to turn this into a muzzle control. Now it has a unique shape, so it doesn't look like anything, but after I'm done with it, it will make sense. Don't worry about it. Now, we created our custom shape. So, how do we assign this custom shape into these bones? Simple. We're going to go to the pose mode. We're going to before that, let's create a new collection for these controls so that after we're done with them, we don't need to delete them, but we can keep them hidden in this other file. And keeping your files tidy is always very important while working on something like this. So after we do that, let's go to our skeleton and let's go to the pose mode. So basically, I want to have this barrel muzzle move in y-axis. And I don't want to have this shape because it's clogging the vision. And to do that, we're going to viewport display and we're going to choose a custom stage and custom shape, and we're going to adjust its size and direction and location. But this is just, how can I say it? This is just to give it a better look. It doesn't change the bone or anything about the bone. It's just cosmetic. So, yes, as you can see, it doesn't block our vision and it looks clear. So let's give it a differentiating color so that we know what it is in this pile of gray. Now, it looks much better. We can also color our parts by going to the viewport display and choosing random colors, or we can assign color to our parts right here as well. I'm going to turn this bone into a stick from this setting. There you go. A bee bone, not a stick. Because I want to still be able to see the bone, even though it's inside the mesh. So, as you can see, in the other side, we have a control. When we move this sphere in Y and Z axis, all parts follow this bone. There's bones here and I have hidden them, and I'm going to teach you how to do this as well. Just like that. And as you can see, we have little pistons that controls it, but these two controls are different and separated. So it will create much more dynamic moves and better illusions. Let's reset our poses and let's get to it. As you can see, I have also worked on the leg. Let's turn these into B-bones as well. Okay. Now, this leaf-looking thingy is our leg control. As you can see, the whole leg is controlled by this guy. And the whole mech is controlled by this guy. As you can see, without manually going into every single bone and controlling them, we instead control two bones to move almost so many pieces. This this simplifies our lives and simplifies the lives of animators. So this is a really important part because after we created our rig and mesh, we will need a good control system to control this mech. Otherwise, it will be tedious, going to take lots of time, and there will be parts misaligning. So, rather than dealing with that issue, why not create a control rig and have this instead of that? So, that is what we're doing. So, in order to create a control here, wait, where's the part? Where's the modifier? Right. I'm looking for IK controls, but I'm not able to see that. Wait, what? Hmm. By the Emperor's throne. Where's our control? Oh wait, I think I'm in the wrong menu. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Let's go to the correct menu and let's choose our IK kinematics. We're going to choose our skeleton. Then we're going to choose the bone that will control this part. So as you can see, it is controlled by this now, but as you can see, the movement and the action is much more clunky. As you can see, we have given 3 chain lengths to this side because this bone affects more than one bone. So let's give that here as well. Now it has a much more smooth movement, but I'm not happy with how it moves because as you can see, the whole leg moves and into the places that I don't want it to move. So we need to fix that. So we're going to go to this bone to show you an example. I lock the movement of this bone by turning off the IK because this is controlled by IK. So we need to turn off the IK kinematics rotations. As you can see, I want the right side of left leg to move like the right leg. So we need to lock its movement and let's. Oh no! Right. As you can see, we missed something and we missed a step. So we need to find it. Let's check all of the bones and see what did we miss. So this bone has locked kinematics as well. As you can see, the upper bone and the lower bone doesn't move, but this one does. So let's see. It's much better, but we are still missing something. Give me a sec to figure it out. So while we do that, while we think about what we need to change, we can think about it. Oh, as you can see, there's a damp track there as well. The knee pad moves on its own as well. How cool is that? So let's give this guy the same treatment as well. So we put a damp track. So basically, whatever this green bone does is affected by the bone in front of it. It will forever follow that. As you can see. Now, let's give it a custom shape as well. So I like my rotating parts to have a sphere usually. And let's arrange its place as well so it looks much tidy and better. Now let's give this guy the same treatment as well. Let's resize it. Now let's readjust this guy as well, and there we go. Make sure to align every part that you you do to the one side so that everything is in cohesion. Having cohesion is so important in Blender because when everything turns into chaos, you will lose your shit and get furious and everything will look like spaghetti. So, in order to not have that, let's have a disciplined and cohesion workflow. Now, as you can see, these bones are the same kind of bones that we did for the knee. So let's give this feet a little bit more bones, split them so that they are not controlled by the bones, other bones. We don't want them to be controlled by other bones. Instead, we're going to parent them into this bone so that they are connected to our control bone. The reason I do that is, as you can see, while I move the control, the feet and the fingers will follow the same motion so that I have a coherent and simpler rig. So what I did is add a damp tract and choose these bones. After I'm done with them, I hit the bones I don't want. But don't worry, we can still bring them back by pressing Alt-H. And Alt-H is to reveal all hidden bones. In order to hide bones, we press H, and in order to bring them back, we press Alt-H. Simple as that. As you can see, now our bone is, oh wait, 1 second. Now all three little finger parts of our Mech is controlled by this. As you can see, it is much better like this. So our control bone of our leg is connected to the same control bone down below as well. I have two different bones for that. It is much better to have two different bones because when you want to adjust the feet and the leg, it will help much better. Okay, now everything is in order. However, still we have one issue that we couldn't fix. Let's turn these into sticks. While we think about the issue. What did we miss? Okay, these are hidden now. Let's give this guy a custom shape as well and resize it. Also, a dip note. I resize it by pressing S. As you can see, it skips this part. We don't want that. We want them to be same size, so we need to go back a little bit and fix that. As you can see, it's not the correct size and it's not in the correct dimensions now. So we need to fix that. We need to go back and do it manually from this panel. Now let's give it a different color. Alright, so as you can see, we color our controls and it will look much better when we color them, and it will be different, so it will help us differentiate them much better. Let's give it a stick shape. As you can see, the whole body moves, but this part doesn't move correctly. Why is that? We lock these, we lock these, we lock these. It's same. What did I miss? Okay, they are all parented to the same bones. That is correct. So what could be the problem? This is fine, but this moves. This shouldn't happen. Whenever you're having a problem with this kind of situation, always remember, take a step back, take a breath, maybe search for a tutorial online. Don't overthink about something. Otherwise, you will miss a problem so many times and you will get furious for no reason. Just be calm, check everything, save your file, close it, reopen it. That sometimes works. But what we are missing here is actually we had locks in our IK kinematic as well. I forgot about that. So as you can see, after we fix that, everything is much better now. There you go. Much and much better. Let's change this color. For example, let's change that to purple or pink. Why not? We love pink. So, as you can see, I give bonus to the armor panels as well, but I wanted to, you know, not move to every direction. It is connected to the part and I want it to rotate, but I don't want it to, go out of places, move it on its own. Now, this will not work. It's a bad shape, so let's give it a sphere. Much better. Now, let's change its place. Let's put it outside. Okay, now, we don't want that, but we want this. So, how can we fix that? You can go to here, or much better option, we will lock its location so that it will never go away. There you go. It will always remain connected to the body. So we can apply this to basically all the bones. So we already have a control for that bone, so we don't need that. As you can see, our upper body is connected there. This is also connected to somewhere else. I don't want it to scale it, so let's lock the scales option. As you can see, it's locked now. Well, let's let it keep its movement. As you can see, the location is locked because it's connected to another bone, so it has that bone's values. So that is that. Let's give this guy some constraints, lock it. There we go. Let's do that to all of the bones and armor panels. But as you can see, the armor panel is inside the body. We don't want that, so let's bring it out. And yeah, much better. Okay, let's check it now. Okay, it is much and much better now. We have an armor panel here. Let's lock its location and scale. This is not connected to anywhere. Don't worry about that guy. We can hide it later on. Okay. At this point, we almost have a perfect rig and a perfect armature. Oh no. Why did that happen? Why is that? The reason that happened is we didn't parent the bones to shoulder bone. We created different bones for there, so as you can see, those are hidden. Because I already put them track constraints there, but I forgot to parent them, so let's do that. And let's see if this time they will follow or not. Now, they're working fine as fine. Okay, now, as you can see, it follows the rest of the armature and the body. Okay. The whole motion is controlled by a single bone. Isn't that awesome? And thanks to that, it makes our lives and the animators' lives much more easier. Also, playing with the armature after we're done like this, it's so much fun. Look, our mech is jumping now. This is some high-level tech heresy, if you ask me, but it's good on my book as well. Alright, so let's reset our positions by clearing all transforms. Let's lock this guy as well because I don't want it to move any other rotation and location. I want it to move only in y-axis, so let's lock the rest. Okay, now let's try to turn the body and see if it works that way as well. And yes, it will only work in its own local axis. Remember, bones will follow local axes rather than global axes, so be mindful of that. Okay, now we already did the missile arm, so let's rig the machine gun arm as well, together this time. So beforehand, let's parent these bones and go to the pose mode. Now we will give all three of those bones a damp track, and the bone in front of them are not connected to any bone, so they will always be a part of the arm. So after we created our damp tracks and applied them, we will not need to see these bones, because after we are done with it, it will be only visual color, visual trash. Let's say it like that for now, because I forgot the word for, yeah, you get it. So let's give this guy an IK track, and let's give it a single chain length, and let's see if it works. Yes. Always remember to check your bones after you give it constraint and anything else. So our bone moves perfectly. Okay, after that, we don't need to see most of these, so let's do that as well. Let's hide these bones so that we have a clearer vision. Okay. Before I hide these bones, as you can see, we didn't connect it our other piston parts, and also let's give it a lock its location so that it doesn't go away outside of the body. Okay. And let's check it if locking the location affects its movement. It doesn't, so we can move on. So as you can see, clearing these parts are so important. So I did a mistake here as well. I tried to connect the mesh to object in itself instead of the bone. So you will see me try fixing it. And let this be a lesson to all of us. Always check what you're parenting. And always try to find your solution somewhere very simple. As you can see, I'm going to try to clear its parents from object mode, but it will not change because it doesn't have a problem. The problem is I try to parent it to the object instead of the bone. So we're going to watch myself suffer, as the God Emperor intended. I like these kinds of mechs because they're brutal and blocky looking. For example, the Warhammer mechs, I really enjoy their designs and characteristics, but something like Evangelion or Gundam doesn't look like mechs to me, because they're so hyper detailed, sophisticated, articulated. So it feels more like a humanoid, like a transformer. Even transformers are more blocky than those mechs. But this kind of simple designs and armatures really appeal to me because they look brutalist and simple. These are just machines of war. They don't need to be elegant. They need to only do their duty. And other than that, there's nothing to it. I really have a huge love for these kind of mechs, so yeah. Anyhow, as you can see, we finally find the solution. The problem was the human, not the pilot. I mean, not the mech, it was the pilot that had a problem. But Making little mistakes and little problems is a great teacher. Without making mistakes, we will never learn anything. It's like the saying, without trying falling down, we will never be able to run. Or something along the lines of that. I tend to butcher some old sayings. Well, we can't all be dialectually and intellectually good with words and explaining ourselves. Long as I can explain what I'm doing here, it is fine by me. Now, after we fix that problem, the rest is easy. As you can see, we only give these guys new shapes, custom shapes, locate rotations, and after that, everything's ready for animation. Oops, did you see that? The bone and the armor is misaligned, so let's try to fix that. And after you realign your object, always make sure to try to move it to see if it's doing its job correctly, and it's not. So let's move our bone this time instead of our armor plate. I want the armor plate to have a hinge from its back. But yeah, the object will always follow the parented bone. So instead of trying to fix that, let's try to fix this time. And let's realign it. And let's see if it works now. And voila, much better. But this kind of bone, this armor panel, doesn't need to move in y-axis. We will only need to open in x-axis. So let's lock that. And let's lock the z-axis as well. And when we press R, it will only rotate to one direction. So, much better. Our lower torso is connected there. This bone is connected there. So I'm not gonna need the bone, so let's hide this one because we already have a control for that bone, as you can see. Now, it looks much cleaner. And it doesn't look like a nightmare on 2 feet. I want to lock this guy to x-axis, but we try to do that in IK constraints. Not there. Yes, this is the correct place, the main transform panel. We go there and we lock its rotation, and now it's only moving to the location we want. Much better. Let's give it a color as well. Let's give it the same color as the other shoulder so that we have some cohesion. Let's give eternal spheres blue. Yes. And our side controls are reddish. Okay. Let's give these guys some spheres as well, but let's keep them outside of the body and give them a different color than blue. Let's bring its control outside and control it from outside, but the bone will remain the same place. This is just cosmetic, and it's easier to grab when it's outside the body because we already have 2 bones inside the body, so it will be much more tidier like this. A tidy workflow is always better than a messy workflow. Let's bring this guy outside as well. Let's keep it here. Much better. Alright. Let's give these guys yellow because they're outside the body. And they don't control anything else but these guys. So these can stay like this for me to better visualize the movement of bone. Let's hide that one. Let's give this guy a sphere as well. Okay. Let's resize it. We don't need something big. We can keep it simple and small. There you go. See? It's better than a stick up there. And let's hide our control panel. Controls. And there you go. We have a ready Mech to be animated. It is simple as that. So let's give it a simple animation for now. Okay, let's align what let's put it down like that. Bring these back. Oops, the wrong way. Much better. Let's move these panels a little as if it's opened for maintenance. Let's open this panel as well. And let's move this panel down. Wait, wrong bone. Sorry. Even though we give them different colors, I am still not able to always separate them. Yes. And yeah. Let's give these guys some different kind of shapes. Envelope. Okay, let's give it an envelope shape. Because it will remain outside the body, so I would remember them as different bones to make sure it's different. That color is too dark. Okay, it's much better now. Yeah. As you can see, when we put these down, our knee pads go down because they follow those guys. Simple as that. Now, let's open up our timeline menu. Let's press I to lock in the... Yes. Look in the poses. Let's clear the transform and move this guy here. Let's re-clear transform again. And let's press space. And there you go. As if this guy is going down for maintenance. Well, it's not a perfect animation for now. The detailed animation will happen in the next episode, so stay tuned for that. And let's put the same note here. And we have a motion now. It goes down, it crouches and goes back up. We want to move our leg to the side or up. Let's bring our leg up. And when we do that, our Mech needs to move to a certain angle. Like rotate a little bit, give more pressure to the other leg to balance itself. So let's do that, and let's look in the locations. There we go. And let's bring down the leg now. We don't need to do that. We can do this as well. We can realign this. Let's move this guy a little bit. And let's look in the locations and let's see. Yeah, without a reference, it's something workable, but not perfect. So stay tuned for the next episode. And this was Mr. Aurora. See you in the next episode, guys. Bye.